Hey guys, Civilord here, back in with another action figure review, and today we'll be continuing our looks at the Mythic Legion's Necronominus wave with my most anticipated, and let's not kid ourselves, my favorite figure out of the entire wave, and that is going to be none other than good old Maxillius the Harvester. Necronominus is a lapdog because this dude straight up kills mofos, and then Necronominus resurrects them back from the dead to serve as soldiers in his army of the dead. That's pretty wild, man. Starting to wonder, Eric Treadway, you alright, buddy? Writes some pretty dark stuff. So, with that being said, this of course is brought to us by the fine folks over at Horsemen Studios, and if you remember my review of this guy last year, one of my figures of the year from last year, being honest, you know that I sung this thing's praises like crazy, because first and foremost, it's a fully articulated, at least to me, skeleton figure for less than $30, and you get alt hands, you get some weapons. The only thing you didn't really get were alt heads, but you did get a hinged jaw, which unfortunately Maxillius doesn't have that going for him, which kind of sucks, because the Tuberculite, or whatever you want to call them, I got a review going up of that in a couple of days. That has hinged jaws on both heads, and I don't think that was initially a thing. So it would have been nice if Maxie here got a hinged jaw as well. But other than that, and the obvious color difference, it's the same figure underneath the robes. We'll go over articulation in case you missed it, but if you want like a little bit more in-depth articulation and size comparisons and whatnot, I'll leave a link in the description below to my review of those skeletons, just to give you guys a better idea. And, you know, I want to pump up the views on that video a little bit, because it's one of my favorite figures from last year. It means a lot to me, you know. That said, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review, the one we're talking about right now. Take a look-see at all Max the Harvester has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with some pointy finger or booger picking hands, as I like to call them. He's got two of them. Serve their purpose. The Skeleton Legion Builder 2 actually comes with those as well. He's got his hourglass. I'm telling you, your time is coming. That's a pretty ornate hourglass. Look at that. I think these pieces are a little bit softer than the rest, but do not push that thing very hard. Like, careful with it. Same with the scythe. It's got some give to it, but I wouldn't go, you know, and all that, because then you look stupid and you broke your awesome scythe accessory to your cool Grim Reaper doll, and then you're going to be all, wah! But this thing is freaking cool. It's a standard scythe, but I love the sculpt. I like that it's more basic compared to Necronominus' scythe, the God Razor. I mean, here is that freaking piece of work. I mean, they're both like long. They're both like the same length. I'd even say Max's is a little bit longer, maybe. No, the Necro's is a bit longer, but they're both super long. But Necro's is clearly more ornate. That just makes sense. But yeah, man, that's a cool piece of handiwork. And if you want to see Max next to good old Necro, I'll have an unboxing of this guy on my Instagram by now, where I show a little bit more character comparisons. But taking a closer look, actually, no, stupid. We're not taking a closer look because we have the alternate skull head, which I'm surprised this is not the same as the head on this guy. It is completely different because the jaw don't move. I don't know if it's the old skull. I don't know what the deal is, but there's no hinge on this. This is stuck. No, there's like no hinge. That bites. Like, why is there no hinge on that? The heck? But you can make him a regular Grim Reaper if you want. using that head. But taking a closer look at Max the Harvester, the head he does have would be very appropriate if the Four Horsemen ever wanted to make an Overlord Productions homage. I'd be totally okay with that. See, his eyes are fused shut, making him visually impaired. You know, I said this in the Linkso video. I don't like to get all, ooh, I feel represented and whatnot, but it's really freaking kick-ass to have a skull head with the eyes fused shut, making it visually impaired, more relatable to me, which I'm a skeleton anyway. Look at how thin my wrists are. I might as well be Max the Harvester in real life. I just need a scythe to mow down poor bastards in the battlefield. But as far as his articulation goes, the head can look up and down, and look side to side, and tilt side to side, and all that good stuff. The hood is wired, sits pretty good, kind of pointy like a Death Eater from Harry Potter, but that's always a plus, right? I like some Harry Potter. I don't mind it. His arms will move out, but they are going to be hindered by his armor piece, which thankfully, unlike Arazak's crazy armor piece thingy, this was attached in the package. I think it comes off easy enough, but you don't have to do like any assembly with this piece. It's like all one piece, and it's already attached to him, so that's where it's going to stay. He does have swivel in the shoulder, however, and then he does also have single jointed elbows. He's got some wire in the sleeves here to help keep them in shape, but again, like Ghost of Christmas Past, it feels like they're using thicker wires on their stuff, which I'm very happy about, or they just upped the QC on production and they're not breaking stuff as much. He does have a hinge swivel wrist, however. Inappropriate hinge on this side, but he does have the up and down on this side. Very strange he doesn't just have it on both, but if you have the skeleton hand pack, like me, you got two left open hands, because of course, and you got the grip hands, a pair of grip hands with the appropriate hinge for holding stuff. I do believe the bone color matches old Max the Harvester here, so if you wanted to do that, you could. But since he holds the hourglass in his hand, I think it's okay. He doesn't really need it. If you want to have him two-hand the scythe, however, I think you probably want to use it then. That said, as far as his torso goes, it's just a ball peg. Works fine. No problems there. Legs. This piece you gotta put on yourself, but that's not too bad. Legs will kick out just fine. If you want to be crazy, you can rotate him 360, but he does have a hinge at the knee with a swivel below the knee. Then he does have ball hinge ankles that will rotate, hinge, and pivots, and then peg holes at the bottom of the feet. But he doesn't need to stand. He can stand just fine. Nothing too loose. And I will say, nothing too loose. I said the other day, nothing's broken. But nothing is too loose on this wave. They did a very good job with this wave. The QC seems a lot better than that Outpost Zaxius wave I looked at, because there was busted stuff, there was loose stuff. Maybe I just got lucky and got a shite wave, but my Necronominus wave, with the exception of a couple missing pieces, like that hand being wrong, and then there's another one we'll talk about next week. Very, very good. Very good indeed. I am very happy with this wave. Some of the best Legions I've messed with. Probably the best Legions wave, for me anyways. Because I'm a skeleton guy, and this wave is like all skeletons. So what can I say, really? That said, before we wrap this sucker up, why don't we bring in our two regulars? Brother Mandibulus here. If you're wondering how Maxillius the Harvester fits in the Necronominus family tree, he's not actually related to them, but I like to think of him as like the creepy uncle that you don't want to talk to that comes over at Christmas time. He's that guy. He's got a criminal record because he's killing mofos. But at any rate, we also have the infamous Cut of Spawn, who probably towering over this guy, right? I mean, he is just a basic skeleton underneath all them robes. Yeah, basic skeleton underneath all them robes. So he's towering over everyone. Good old Al Simmons there. But that said, I'm half tempted to grab another one of these guys just to make a standard Reaper. What do you guys think? I think that'd be a pretty cool idea, especially since I got two of these Legion Builder 2 skeletons. Be kind of nice to have a Reaper to lead them into battle or something like that. Maybe give them the booger pick in the hand. But at any rate, it is time now that we move right along and wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and what more do I need to say about good old Maxillius the Harvester that I haven't said throughout the duration of this review? This guy is hands down, by far, going to be, if not is already, one of my top 13 or whatever I choose to do action figures of 2025. If something beats this guy out, I will be surprised, because this figure is just that damn good. If you're gonna get one figure from the Necronominus wave, make it this guy, because even if you're not into the whole Maxillius the Harvester Mythic Legions aesthetic thing, you can change him into a classic Grim Reaper if you want. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.